كيف حالكم جميعا بخير؟
الحمد لله الحمد لله بخير.
الحمد لله. Seeing you all tonight. Inshallah, we will continue with our lesson 4. Inshallah starts. We will continue first. We didn't finish lesson 3. It's a long lesson, so we will continue with the second part. How was the homework, everybody?
Sorry, I wasn't able to do it. I wasn't able to do it. Couldn't get to it.
No problem, Ms. Khorshid. I hope that you are doing fine. Are you back home?
No, I'm still away. I'm still in KL, but I had a freak accident yesterday, which is one of the reasons I wasn't able to finish my homework.
Sorry to hear that. Hope that you are well and nothing.
I'm getting better. Yes, thank you so much for sharing.
Ms. Khorshid. Thanks to all of you for joining. Thank you, Mr. Nordin, for sending. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So I received so far 3 of you sent me the homework. Thanks to all of you, and I know that some of you couldn't make it. So thanks to Ms. Tara for the nice handwriting and for the homework. Thanks to Mr. Nordin for the nice handwriting and for all the nice answers as well. And
compliments. You managed to open my photo?
Yes, I managed actually. I didn't have actually time to reply to you, but I went through all your answers. Mashallah, the answers are correct. As well as Miss Ong, I have texted you. I think you are not here yet. So let's go straight to our lesson. The homework was about filling the blanks with a mubtada, which is a subject. So here we have ghaniyun, which means rich. And what was your answer, Mr. Nordin, for number 1?
Number 1, I didn't do this one. Let me check, because I did the one. First one was you have the mubtada, and then we have to fill in the khabar. It was number 1 to number 6. Yeah. And then the next one was number 1 to number 10. The khabar is given. We have to fill in the mubtada.
You're right. So and actually,
my number 1 is not ghaniyun. I don't have this one.
Let me. Yeah, you answered the other one. Let me. Is it okay if I share your answers, Mr. Nordin?
It's okay. It's a bit horrible.
Okay. So you answered actually the second part, Mr. Nordin, and let's share Mr. Nordin's answers, everybody. So as you can see, Mr. Nordin's handwriting is beautiful, mashallah. And we have here, sorry if your email is seen by everybody, Mr. Nordin, that's fine, I believe. With you. So, al-hajaru thaqilun. Now, and we have here second answer, al-babu maftuhun. We have here al-qamaru jamilun. And here al-waraqu khafifun. Al-mindilu wasikhun. Number 6, al-labanu. Here the al-labanu is a bit tricky for all of us. So don't worry, Mr. Nordin. Just the lamb, this lamb will be merged with lamb, the next lamb. Usually when 2 letters are together, either if the first letter is with sukun and the next one is with haraka, we merge them into one letter and we put shadda. Remember that? Okay. But for the case of alif and lam, since alif and lam is called lam ta'rif lam, most of the scholars they consider only the lam tarif for the word to be definite. And the word itself is not a particle, it's a noun. That's why we do not merge both lambs together.
I see.
Yeah.
So the way I write it is the correct way?
So we keep the lamb. This sukun will not be required, but here we will put the shadda on top of the second.
I miss the shadda, okay.
Yeah. So here you consider that this lamb is a moon lamb, which we will be learning by today, everybody.
Oh yes, right.
Harun, very good. Thank you so much for that. So those are the answers. We will go through the rest, everyone, shortly. So Ghaniyun, I think Mistara, Miss Mong are not here yet. Mistara, are you there? Yeah, you are here, Mistara. So what was... أهلا وسهلا مستر مرحبا. How was your answer for the first
17.
Mistara was
17.
Sorry, Mr. Muhammad, I was supposed to do this one. I didn't do this one.
Yeah.
you're okay. Yeah, I can see it.
Because I thought we are supposed to do exercise 3 and 4.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So here غني refers to التاجر in the book. التاجر غني, the merchant is rich.
Okay.
Number 2, حلو, which means sweet.
حلو.
In the book, referring to the book, will be do you see one handsome guy joining on his own today, everybody? Mr.
Yeah.
How are you, Mr. Jibril? Good? Where is your sister? The other room, right? Hello. السلام عليكم انشراح, كيف حالك؟ بخير؟ Happy seeing everybody, and hope that we will be able to see Mr. Owais also. He is one of, I think he is your age, Mr. Jibril, if I'm not mistaken. He will be your best friend, I'm sure. Yeah, I will invite him next time to join. He wasn't feeling well. Please pray for him, for his good health, everybody. So غني التاجر, حلو السكر. So we can choose السكر, this word, as a subject. One of the suggestions. مريض, sick. مريض, who is مريض? Maybe the student. So how to say the student? الطالب مريض. الطالب مريض. Number 4, who would like to suggest the answer? لذيذ. You see, this word لذيذ is in Malay as well. لذيذ, which is لذاذ, delicious, right? التفاح, Mr. Nordin. لذيذ, very good. What about طويل? طويل is in English, very close to English, which is tall. Tall. So who is tall? In our book, the doctor is tall. Doctor is tall. الطالب, الطبيب, عفوا, طويل. الطبيب طويل. والمدرس قصير. So طويل is tall and قصير is short. Who got the same answers, everybody? Perfect. So let's go to the next exercise. this was just, I mean, matching the words. So we have الطالب مريض. الطالب مريض. Try to annotate. الطالب مريض. The next one, الدكان. What is the meaning of الدكان? The shop. The shop. What do you think will be? لذيذ, delicious. مكسور, broken. ثقيل, heavy.
لا.
مفتوح, open.
مفتوح.
I think that will be the one. مفتوح. So I will just put different colors for your attention. And then التفاح, as Mr. Nordin said, لذيذ. You see, my lines are always not straight, Mr. Jibril. Don't follow me in school, okay? And then I have الماء حار, for example, hot. And the next one, الحجر. Who would like to answer this? الحجر, the stone or the rock. So we are left with مكسور, broken, and ثقيل, heavy. Which one you choose?
ثقيل.
Let's go for it. ثقيل. And lastly, القلم مكسور. So let me just, I try to make my line straight, everyone. I didn't manage to do that. Any questions so far, everybody?
مكسور, is it means spoiled?
مكسور is coming from كسر, the root word. كسر is to break.
Broken.
Yeah, so it's broken now. I let you take note of this, then I will move to the next one.
Excuse me.
تفضل Mr. Jibril.
What is مفتوح?
مفتوح, Mr. Jibril, I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
Right. مفتوح.
Tradition.
مفتوح, it's coming from the root word فتح. So what is the first surah in Quran? In Quran, Mr. Jibril.
Al-Fatiha.
And you memorize it, Mr. Jibril?
Al-Fatiha.
Yeah. Tell me, obviously, yes. I memorize it. So Al-Fatiha is coming from Fataha, to open. So it's the opening or the beginning of something. So مفتوح means opened. And by the way, Ms. Khurshid asked about Inshirah last week. So the next one, everybody, let me just clear this one. The words that we learned, حلو, مريض. So حلو, sweet, مريض, sick. الدكان, the shop. غني, rich. طويل, tall. فقير, مسكين. فقير.
I feel it in my head, my shoulders, knees and toes, my bones.
Nice music. Rosita. طويل means tall. فقير means poor. قصير means short. And التفاح, which means the apple. Now, any questions, everybody? In this page? If there is no question, let's move to the next page. So next page, I believe that most of you are familiar with this topic, but let's just repeat it, everybody. Here we have al-hurufu, which is the plural of harfun. حرف, one of the meanings of حرف is letter, the letters, which is part of the alphabet. الحروف القمرية. القمرية is coming from the word قمر, and maybe some of you heard of the song قمر, right? So what is the meaning of قمر? قمر means moon, the moon. So الحروف القمرية means the moon letters. و means and الحروف, the letters, شمسية, and the sun letters. The sun letters. So why we have here the moon and the sun, and we are learning Arabic, not geography and physics, everybody, right? Here, if I want to add al to the word kitabun, what will be the answer? Al kitabu. Allow me to share my Word document. My apologies, my Word document is still jumping. So if I add al to the word kitabun, so the word kitabun is nakiratun. Nakiratun means it is indefinite. If I want to make it definite, one of the ways is to add al to it.
Nakira means it's indefinite.
No.
I see. And the opposite of that?
Ma'rifatun.
Ma'rifatun. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome, Sayyid. So, kitabun. I'm not sure why this word kitabun has a lot of attention. Whenever we use an example, we use kitabun. Kitabun. If I want to make it ma'rifa or definite, I will add al kitab, and I need to remove the tanween, as I explained earlier. So al kitab, and this is a subject. Let's come up with a predicate. Mufidun, for example. Mufidun. Mufidun means beneficial, has fa'ida, has a benefit. Al-kitabu mufidun. So the first word is subject. What we call it in Arabic? Mubtada'un. The second word is a predicate or khabarun. Khabarun. So when I mentioned al-kitabu, I pronounce this lam, and I put a sukun on top of it. What is moon in Arabic? Qamarun. If I want to say the moon, I will add alif and lam, and becomes al-qamaru. By right, I have to take out the tanween because the word is definite. Al-qamaru. Did I pronounce this lam, everybody, or not? Yes, I pronounced. Now, salamun. This is an example that I like to give most of the time during my classes. Salamun, which means peace. How to say the peace?
Assalamu.
Assalamu. نعم. Salamu. Am I correct if I say al-salamu by pronouncing this lam?
La.
No.
Assalamu.
Yeah. So why this word accepted the lam to be pronounced? This lam is not pronounced in the word as-salamu. As-salamu, simply because this letter sin with the lam when it is silent. Okay, so these two words, al-kitabu and al-qamaru, are from the same category, right? So the word al-qamar, which means the moon, was chosen for this category. We will see all the letters that they agree that the lam will be pronounced, and all the letters that they do not agree that the lam for al is pronounced. One of them is sin. Sin, and therefore this lam is silent. What am I going to do if the lam is silent? Can I keep the sukun on top? No need, because it is silent. However, I have to acknowledge that there is a lam when I pronounce the word, and therefore I will not say sa. I will stress on the sin. So the requirement here, when the lam is silent, the letter following it must be with shadda, subdu, right? And therefore I will give it this W, which we call shadda. So this shadda means that in fact there is not only a sin here, but this lam is acknowledged in the word. So when I say assalamu alaikum, the listener knows that there is a lam, but I didn't pronounce it. Clear? Hope that my explanation is not too confusing. So what category we give the second, we said al-qamaru is the first category. This as-salamu, we will put it in the sun category. What is sun in Arabic?
Shamsun.
Shamsun. By the way, Mr. Shamsun is not here today with us. Sha, m, sun. Now let's give it alif and lam. The, a, l, shamsu. Can I pronounce the lam?
Yeah.
We do not pronounce it, and therefore will be a, sha, ashamsu. So the second category is the sun letters. So now how many letters we have studied so far? Kaf. Whenever we have a word starting with kaf, either the kaf has fatha or kasra or dhamma, we must give it the al-qamariyya, the moon letter. The second letter is qaf. So when we have a word starting with qaf, either with fatha or dhamma or kasra, when we give it al, the lam is pronounced in all words, which means there is no exception for that. Okay? Al-kitabu, al-kurkumu, al-kamunu, and so on. Qaf is the same. So do we say al-Qur'an or al-Qur'an? Which one is easy? Al-Qur'an. No, Mr. Sultan. Al-Qur'an. The next one, sin. So whenever we have a word starting with sin, the lam is silent, and the category is the sun letters. Assalamu alaikum. Can we say wa alaykumul salamu? Definitely cannot, and therefore we say wa alaykumus salamu. Wa alaykumus salamu. And I joke with my students when I tell them that let's go to Al Salam restaurant, have dinner for free because they have Al Salam. So they never respect this category of lamb, right? Yeah. So the next one is Ash-Shamsu. And by the way, this lam, which is silent, is one of the dialects, the Egyptian dialects. They use it in the wrong way. So whenever the word is, and some of the words in Egyptian dialects, even though it's silent, but they make it pronounced, just like al-salam, ash-shamsu, al-shams. And we have Mr. Abdul Sattar, as you can see. His name, I think, on the IC is Abdul Sattar, but now he rectified it, Abdul Sattar, simply because his house is a bit far, so he doesn't want to invite all of us for dinner, right? No, in fact, his house is open for everybody, to everyone. Sorry for the joke, Sayyid Abdul Sattar. Jazakumullah khair.
So, Mr. Mohammed,
Naam.
is it true that as long as there's a lam before any of the sun letters, it goes silent?
No, that's true.
It doesn't have to be an al. So even if, or is there any case where any of the spelling of any word there's a silent L in between? I mean, silent lam in between?
No, actually, for the letters, there are 28, and we will see the 14 letters which are under the moon, and the 14 letters which are under the sun. And from there, any letter comes before. I mean, that's alif and lam. We respect actually its pronunciation, which means that, for example, whenever you see a word starting with sin and you add alif and lam, will be always sun letter.
Will always be silent.
Yes.
Correct.
No. Did you come across any word or anything that you would like to ask about?
No, I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, actually, that is the qaida, and to my knowledge, there is no exception at all. Yeah. So the letters, and there are some poems actually talking about those letters. So, for example, if we have any word under this phrase, which is ibri hajjaka wa khaf aqimahu, those are the moon letters, and the rest are the sun letters. Now, Wallahu a'lam. that's that's what we learned in schools. Now, so we will see all the categories together, everyone. Now, do you have any questions, everybody? No questions? So we have, let's start with al-huruf al-qamariyatu. And as I mentioned, al-huruf al-qamariyatu are all joined in this sentence. Let me just find or type it for you before we move to the. So the first one is alif. Alif with hamza. Usually the alif doesn't have any sound, and therefore we give it hamza. But here the verb used is ibri, from to wish for, ibri, and therefore it doesn't accept hamzat al-qata', the cutting hamza. Ibri. Hajjaka. Ha. Ja. Ka. Means your hajj, your pilgrimage. So what is the meaning of ibri hajjaka? The pilgrimage for Muslims. Before going to the pilgrimage, what need to be done before going to do the hajj is to seek forgiveness from everyone that you might have hurt him or her. If you have any loans, pay them first. So clear your statement with human beings, and then seek the forgiveness from God when you do the pilgrimage. So to make sure that your Hajj is acceptable, do all your best to to be clean from all the sins that you have done to human beings and all. Between you and God, that's between you and God. So ibri hajjaka means make sure that your Hajj is acceptable by doing those steps. Wa khaf. Khaf is coming from khafa, to be scared of. Wa khaf aqimahu. Wa khaf aqimahu. What is the meaning of aqim? Aqim is we usually use it for the people that they have difficulty to have babies, they are not able to give birth and all. So aqim means something which is not complete, something which is not acceptable, which is referring to the Hajj. Means after doing all the pilgrimage, going to all those places in Saudi Arabia, Mecca, Arafat, Mina, and all of the sudden, this pilgrimage was not accepted by Allah. So it's a waste of your time, of your money, efforts, and all. So that is the meaning of aqim. Now let's take a look at the letters in this sentence. The good thing is the teachers, when they teach in a way that we can memorize the sentence. So try to find a way for you to memorize those letters, and the rest are actually in a long poem, which I do not want to confuse you with at this stage. So whichever is not mentioned here will be under the sun letters. So those are the moon letters. Let me just move this under the category of Al-Qamar here, and then the sun letters. Let's choose Alif. Alif, as we mentioned, we give it at the beginning Hamza Qata. So if there is an Alif without Hamza Qata, means it's not part, that Hamza Qata is not part of the word itself. Or for verbs, the verb is more than 4 letters. So let's say, for example, Abun. Abun. I will give it the cutting Hamza with Fatha. Abun. So now let's add Alif and Lam. Al-Abu. Al-Abu. So we pronounced the Lam. Al-Abu. Let's go to the next one. What we have after Alif in the alphabet, we have Ba. So what we have in the book, we have, just to find where is the book. We have Al-Babu. By the way, who just joined, kindly take a look at page 19 from the book. Depends on your version of the book. So we are looking now at number 2, Ba, and we have the word Babun. Babun, which means a door. Now let's make it Ma'rifa, which means definite, by adding Alif and Lam. Al-Babu. I cannot leave the tanween there, otherwise the word will not be correct. After Ba, what we have following Ba in our sentence? So Alif, Ba, Ta. Do we have Ta in the moon letters? No, I do not see any Ta, and therefore it's part of the sun letters. Okay, here we have the next one, Fa. We do not have it, and then the next one will be Jim. So take a look at your book. What we have under Jim? Jannatun, paradise. Jannatun. Now, who can help me with Alif and Lam?
الجنة.
نعم. الجنة أخي. الجنة. Jannatu. No tanween means the paradise. Al Jannatu. And as you can see, I put sukun on top of those lamps. Let me just add, I think most of you are visuals. I will add for the lamp which we pronounce the color red and sukun. Al Abu. This one is a bit tricky because it will be selected with the alif. I try to trick something.
May I ask a question?
Naam Sayyidi.
Al Abu is not elongated, right? Just Al Abu.
Yeah, it's not elongated. So for those who study tajweed, for Uthman Taha, the writer of Mus'haf al-Madina, you will see that the Hamza, if the Hamza is in between Lam and Alif, in between, means that this Hamza is elongated. Just like Al, A, and elongated. With two harakats. If it is on top of the Alif itself, means there is no elongation. Al-A, yeah. Al-Jannat. So let's go to the next one. What we have after Jim? Jim, Ha, Kha. Correct? So Ha. Let's pronounce Ha, everybody. Ha. Ha. So just to make it Ha and Ha is just like what we are laughing, right? Ha ha ha, correct? But another one is just like you need some water. You are very thirsty and you need some water, so you say ha ha. It's really deep in the throat. So and what we have in the book for ha, we have the word himarun. What is the meaning of himarun, everybody?
Donkey.
Donkey. And if I add al and lam will be a l. So this lam is pronounced al-himaru. Is my sentence correct, everyone? La, because the tanween here needs to be removed. Now, what we have after in our sentence? Kha, correct? Kha. So what we have in the book as kha? Khubzun. Who doesn't like khubzun? Khubzun is bread. Khubzun. Now, so if I add alif and lam, becomes a al khubzu. No tanween. Let's go now to the next word. So far we have alif, ba, right? We have jim, ha, and kha. So we have after kha, everybody, in the alphabet. Dal, correct? Dal. But both of them are under the second category. Now let's go to what after dal and dal? Ra and zai, under the sun, right? Let's go now to the next one. Ra, zai. Who remembers the alphabet?
Sin, shin.
Sin and shin, and the sun, as you can see in the words. After sin and shin, what we have? Sad and dad, both of them, and the sun. Some more. The next ones. Ta and va, very good. So ta and va, both of them under the sun. After that, what we have?
Ain.
Now, Mr. Sultan. So ain, and this one is a bit tricky with hamza. So some of us might pronounce ain just like hamza. So, for example, ain is itself a word, which is the eye or the source of water. So ainun. Let's add alif and lam to it. العين.
العين.
نعم العين.
No.
I need to remove the tanween. نعم سيدي شكرا. العين. What we have after عين? The sister of عين, which is عين. And in the book we have غداء. غداء, which means lunch. So how to say the lunch? غداء. So غين here is pronounced الغداء. What we have after غين, everybody?
Fa.
Fa is under this category, right? We have it here. Fa. And therefore, in our word, we have the word famun, which means mouth. Famun. Famun. Now let's add alif and lam to it, everybody. Alfamun. Am I right, Mr. Jibra'il? Correct?
No.
No, I need to remove the
Alfam.
Naam. Very good. After fa, what we have in the alphabet? Qaf. Qaf. And we have here al-qamar. Use this as an example. Okay? Al-qamar. What after qaf we have in Arabic? Kaf. So we have here al-kitabu, or in the book
Kalbu.
al-kalbu. So al-kalbu without alif and lam is kalbun. Am I right?
No.
Now let's add alif and lam. Al-kalbun. Al-kalb. Now let's move now to the next one. The next one after kaf, what we have? Mim. So do we have mim here? Yes, we have mim. And in the book we have ma'un. What is the meaning of ma'un?
Water.
Water. So let's add alif and lam, everyone, to mim. Becomes al-ma'u. Al-ma'u. What is after mim? In
Nun.
Noon. Noon. So noon. We have noon here.
No.
يبغي حجك وخف عقيمه. No noon. And therefore, it's not under this category. After noon, what we have?
Wow.
Wow, you got it right, Mr. Nazim. So wow. Wow, do we have it here? Yes, we have it here. وخف. And therefore, we have the example of wa la dun in the book. Al wa la du. Al waladu. Let me just highlight these two lambs so they don't feel jealous.
What does al-waladu means?
Al waladu is the boy, Saidi. The boy. Just like Mr. Jibra'il, al waladu. Right?
I have a friend who calls himself to his kids as Walid.
That's Walid is one of the names, by the way. Al-Walid was during the Abbasid time.
Yes.
And Al-Walid has a story. Maybe in our advanced classes we will talk about him and what he did during his time. He was one of the leaders.
No, even my friend was talking to his children, he addressed himself as Walid.
Walid. This one is wow, alif, lam and dal.
Elongated. Walid.
Walid means father.
Ah.
Yes. So Walid, and Walid is the baby, is the son. Walid. And it's one of the names. Al-Walid. This Al-Walid had a habit. Whenever he wanted to go for a serious thing, he had to look into the Quran, and to look at the ayah. If the ayah is talking about the hellfire, about anything bad, he did not go for that matter. And if it's good, paradise, good thing, he will go for it. And one of the day, and this is called istiftah. Istiftah, I mean, it's coming from fataha. Fataha is to open, istiftah to see if the, so of course, I mean, from the point of view of religion, I mean, there is nothing to do with the ayah of Quran to know if the thing is good or bad. So one of the days he opened the Mus'haf and his eye came across one of the ayah. The ayah means واستفتحوا وخاب كل كفار عنيد من ورائه جهنم ويسقى من ماء صديد يتجرعه ولا يكاد يسمع. Let me just try to find in which verse. And then so this is talking about someone who is kafar, someone, you know the word kafir. Kafir means someone who knows something but he hides it. So the farmer is called kafir because he hides under the ground weeds, he hides, yes. So you may find actually the word kufar in one of the ayats of Quran. كمثل زرع أعجب الكفار نباته. So let's go to that ayah. And then he was so angry and then he destroyed the Quran. He was saying some of the poems, and he said تهددني بجبار عنيد وها أنا ذاك جبار عنيد إذا أتيت ربك يوم حشر فقل يا رب مزقني الوليد. It means that you are saying that I'm Jabbar. Jabbar is someone who doesn't have mercy on others, who always looks down at others and all. And Anid, someone who is stubborn. And he said, you are saying that I'm Jabbar Anid? So yes, I'm Jabbar Anid. When you meet your God, the Yawm al-Hashr, Yawm al-Qiyamah, say, oh God, I was destroyed by Al-Walid. So his end was really bad, and yeah, so that's the story of Al-Walid. Answering your question, Mr. Nordin. So Al-Waladu, the boy, and what we have after that? Sorry if I divert. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to give you the number of the ayah. I have one app which is very good. Where is it? Where is it? So many apps. So this is in Surah Ibrahim, Ayah 1:5 for your reference. The story of Al-Walid and this ayah. What we have after wow, everybody in the Arabic alphabet?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Nazim, naam. So do we have ya here? Naam, we have ya. And the is part of the moon letters. Al-Yadu. Yadun is hand. So Al-Yadu. Al-Yadu. Al-Yadu is the hand. What's after ya? عفوا سيدي. Did you say ha?
Yes.
نعم ha. So al-ha. Well, yeah, so I will just put it before. So hawa, which is a word in Malay, hawa'un, which means air. Hawa'un. If I want to add alif and lam, becomes al-hawa. Oh. So let me just highlight this. Give it red color. Sometimes you have to be extra precise.
Welcome to use Zealot products. Bluetooth.
Unfortunately, it doesn't. But if I add another space, you might. Yeah, it worked. So al-hawa'u, and lastly al-yadu. Thank you. Thanks to all of you.
What is the meaning of Hawa'u.
Al-Hawa'u is just like Bahasa, Mr. Sultan, which is air.
Oh, air. Okay, Hawa. Oh,
Yes,
I thought it is Hawa from City Hawa.
oh, that one is with ha, and that is the confusion between ha and ha. So ha, just like we are laughing, correct? Ha is when we pronounce it from the throat. So ha, like hajj, like hawa. So hawa is Eve, Hawa, Adam and Hawa. It is with ha, Mr. Sultan.
Yes, it is also with her, right?
Yeah. So the other one, let me just type it for you to see the difference. It's ha, wow, with shadda, alif, and hamza. Hawa. As you can see, Hawa is written with ha and not ha, like al-hawa. Got it? And the waw is with shadda also. Hawa. Okay? So that's the difference actually, Mr. Sultan. Hope that this answers your question. So
What of them is with ha, right?
sorry, Saidi, which word?
What of what that you saw is are with ha.
This word, right?
Yeah, ha, and then the other word also with ha, right?
Okay. So this word is with like laughing, ha ha ha, and the previous one for Hawa is with ha ha, just like you are asking for water. Ha and ha, both of them are under the category of moon letters. So all of those are al-hurufu. Al-hurufu. It's ha also. Al-hurufu. القمرية. الحروف القمرية, which is moon letters. Let me just type it. Do we say the moon letters or moon letters only in English? Maybe moon letters. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Al-abu, al-babu, al-jannatu, al-himaru, al-khubzu, al-ainu, al-ghada'u, al-famu, al-qamaru, al-kalbu, al-ma'u, al-waladu, al-hawa'u, and then lastly, al-yadu. Now, if you allow me, I will go to the sun letters. We will read it from the book. Is that okay? So we don't waste more time. Any questions so far? Thank you, Ms. Norida, for sharing. Yeah, so it's إبغي حجك وخف عقيمه for the moon letters. I mentioned your name, Ms. Norida, Ms. Tara, before you joined. So I thank both of you for the homework. Thank you so much for that. Let's go now to the book. Where is my book? It's here, on the other side. So I will be looking this side. Sorry about that, everyone. So the sun letters, as you can see, there is a lovely sun smiling at us here. The sun letters. We have ta, at-tajiru. So did I pronounce this lam? No, I didn't pronounce it, and therefore it's silent. But as I mentioned, the letter following it it's a must for us to give it shadda, sabtu. Okay, shadda. The second letter. So what is the meaning of at-tajiru, everybody? The merchants, at-tajir. The second one is athawbu, the fabric from where we make baju, from where we make the clothes. Athawbu. The next one is ad-diku. As you can see, ad-diku starts with kasra, correct? Just like al-kitabu. So when we give it alif and lam, the lam is silent, and therefore it is a must for us to give it shadda. So if I want to remove alif and lam from a word like addiku, do I need to keep the shadda or not? When I remove alif and lam, the shadda say goodbye is removed, right? So at-tajiru, when I remove alif and lam, becomes tajirun, no shadda. Al-thawbu, when I remove alif and lam, becomes thawbun. Ad-diku, when I remove alif and lam, becomes dikun. So ad-diku is the rooster. And the next one, al-dhahabu. Al-dhahabu is the gold. The gold. G-O-L-D. G-O-L-D. Sorry if my pronunciation is not is not there. The next one is ar-rajulu. Ar-rajulu. So ra is one of the sun letters. And therefore, when we pronounce ra, something special about ra, when you pronounce it, if you pronounce ba, can you say definitely cannot, right? You cannot repeat it. But when it comes to ra, you can elongate it as much as you can, as long as the nafas is there, the air. So you say correct, or non-stop. So when it comes to ar-rajulu, try when you read ra in this way with shadda or with sukun, not to repeat it many times. So instead of saying ar-rajulu, that is incorrect, right? In your reading. And therefore, just mention it once. Ar-rajulu. Ar-rajulu. Clear so far? So if I remove alif and lam, again the hamza will say goodbye. No more. The shadda, I mean. My apologies. The next one is az-zahratu. Az-zahratu, which means the flower. The flower. The flower. The next one, as-samaku. As-samaku. And here, the answer for Mr. Dean asking about some of the letters. So I know that sin is sign letter. I will apply it to all the letters, the words starting with sin. Ash-shamsu. As-sadru. As-sadru. The chest. So as-samaku is the ikan, the fish. Right? Hopefully just the fish will not get expensive after the chicken, right? So ash-shamsu, and then we have as-sadru, ad-daifu, the guest, at-talibu, the student, al-dhahru, and here a lot of us will pronounce this dha with the z sound. Remember, no z sound, okay? The tongue in between the teeth. Al-dhahru, which means the back. And the next one, al-lahmu. This lam is what I explained just now to Mr. Nordin, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. The lam will be joined into the next lam. So we do not put anything on this lam. And we put the shadda on the next one. Means that this lamb merged into the second. So al-lahmu is meat, just like lamb in English, meat. Yeah, so al-lahmu, the meat, an-najmu, the star. Do we have anything else?
Excuse me, Saidi. It is about Allahmu. You said that the first lam is merged with the second lam. That's why we have what is it called?
Shadda.
But why it is still written and also with the sada?
Yeah.
I mean, is it will be the three lam here? When we set in elongation.
Here, Mr. Sultan, there is an explanation. As per some of the scholars for Nahu, they mention that this lam was not merged with the next one. I mean, physically in one lam only with shadda, because this alif and lam has a function, and it's part of the particles. So the parts of speech in Arabic are three: the noun, the verb, and the particle. So since these alif and lam are not noun, like lahm, which is noun, they did not want to join this lam with this one in one lam. So they kept it just separated, but this sign to acknowledge that there is another lam in front of it. So al-lahmu, just like the other letters. Yes.
So it is because of the first lam is function as a particle.
No, as particle said, no.
And the second lam we have
is part of the word.
Yeah. We have elongation. We put Allahmu.
Yes, that's the reason why they are kind of separated.
Okay, thank you.
We see some of the exceptions like alladhi, allati, alladhani, allatani. So those asma mawsula. Sometimes even that lam is merged, and they say it's an exception. Honestly, those exceptions, like for alladhi, allati, they are quite confusing. But when we reach there, in our advanced classes, I will explain further the reasons that those scholars gave. Now, so I find that this explanation is the closest to our logic as per now. That's because alif and lam is a particle and the word lahm is a noun. That's why they didn't want to merge both of them. Yeah, but some of the words that we have learned so far, hada basically is ha, which is a particle with alif, and the is a noun. It's considered a noun, the demonstrative, and it was merged in one word. So in all the languages, I think sometimes when you want to find logic, it's really hard to find it. Now, any questions so far regarding the moon and the sun letters? No question? Perfect. So let's move to the next one.
Najmu is star, right?
Yes, star, Mr. Sultan. So we have tamreen on here, which means exercise, and tamreen is for you all. What we are supposed to do, just unmute ourselves. Let's all participate in this tamreen. It will be, trust me, it will be amazing. Okay? So put the moon letters in front of you, and the sun letters in front of you, and from there we pronounce those letters accordingly. Okay? So the first word, is it al-baytu or ab-baytu?
Al-baytu.
Al-baytu, very good. However, I heard only 3 voices. Where is the rest, everyone?
Still have dinner, maybe. Have dinner.
Very good. Yeah. Al-baytu, very good. Now, shukran, Miss Yasmin. Shukran, everybody. So the next one comes to 1, 2, 3.
Adiku.
Very good. Number 3, and we count to 3. We count to 3, and then we say it one shot. 1. I count it to 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Al-Mudaris.
Very good. Number 4. 1, 2, 3.
Al-Babu.
It's getting more and more fun, everyone. Thank you so much. The next one, number 5. I will count to 3. 1, 2, 3. الطالب. The next one. 2، 3.
Asukaru.
Asakaru.
Sukarun.
Sukaru.
Very good. Yes. Sugar. By the way, this is a Persian word which came to Arabic and to other languages as well. The next one, واحد اثنان ثلاثة.
Ad-daftaru.
Daftaru.
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 دفتر. You're right.
Daftaru.
Exercise book.
The next one, واحد اثنان ثلاثة.
Al-akhu.
الأخ without elongation.
Al-akhu.
Akhu.
Very good. The next one, واحد اثنان ثلاثة.
Ar-Rasul.
الرسول. So here we add shadda, right? الرسول.
Ar-Rasul.
Ar-Rasul.
The messenger.
Rasul.
Number the I lost count. So I will come to 1 to 3. Okay. واحد اثنان ثلاثة.
Al-wajhu.
Wajib.
Wajhu.
Wajib.
Face. It's in Malay as well, right? وجه.
Wajah.
Next one. واحد اثنان ثلاثة. Very good. Now, the next one. واحد اثنان ثلاثة.
Al-Quran.
Anu.
No, very good. The next one. واحد اثنان ثلاثة. الصلاة. So it is with shadda here. Very good.
As-salat.
Now, next one. واحد اثنان ثلاثة.
Al-Ka'bah.
الكعبة. Very good. ما شاء الله. شكرا مستر جمال. The next one. واحد. Everyone is waiting. اثنان ثلاثة.
Ar-Ra's.
الرأس. Look, we have a new princess. We just saw her. حسنا كيف حالك؟ بخير؟
Khair.
And the next one. واحد ثلاثة اثنان ثلاثة. الإصبع is the finger.
Al-Isba'u.
الإصبع is the finger. الرأس is the head. الكعبة is the Kaaba in Mecca. الصلاة the prayer. Quran is Quran. الصديق is the friend. Did I go far? I can repeat that for you if you are in it. The next one, I will count from 4 to 6. Okay? أربعة خمسة ثلاثة.
Sobun.
What is how
do you say this?
It's soap.
Malay as well.
How do you say it?
Sabun, which is the soap.
Yeah, sabunu.
Yes. And the next one.
Mr. Muhammad, what is al-isba'u?
Al-isbar is the finger of Tihal.
Oh, finger. Okay.
Next one. سبعة ثمانية تسعة. Remember always the sound of the without z sound. So whoever says the with the z sound, we are all going to have dinner at his house. Okay?
Can you repeat it, please, sir?
Sure, we do. So
How
if
about mine?
done is in
Indonesia?
if you are overseas, we can travel. All right. So let me pronounce the to avoid inviting all of us, everybody.
I will invite you.
So it's the, vo, dhamma, avo, very good, yes. So just make sure your tongue is in between the teeth. If it is behind the teeth, you will definitely pronounce the Z sound. Avo, which means what's nail.
The nails.
No, the nail. The next one.
الفاخر. لا الفجر.
Very good.
Al-Fajr.
We invite all to dinner, everybody, because she didn't count, right? So, Miss Khurshid, are we all coming to your place?
Yes. مرحبا مرحبا. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Shamati.
So what? How we read it? Al-Fajr.
Is it Fajr? Fajr?
As in Fajr.
Right. Yes, Al-Fajr. The next one.
الظهر. الظهر.
Very good.
الظهر.
Which is Dhuhr prayer. Next one.
العصر. العصر.
You know why I'm not counting? Because I'm seeing who is saying the words for our dinner, everybody. Okay? You dinners, Miss included. Who's else? So Al-Dhuhr, Al-Asr,
Al-Asru.
Who said
المغرب.
Al-Maghrib? Who said Al-Maghrib before me counting?
Me, I did.
Yeah. And lastly, and something very interesting about Al-Isha'u, it's the time for Isha. So Isha is the time and also is the prayer, the name of the prayer. Right. If you give it fatha, it will become al-asha'u. It's the food itself, the dinner, the food. So there is one hadith of the Prophet ﷺ said, if Isha comes with Isha, starts with Isha, do not go to the mosque in order to pray, because your mind will stay on the table. So, oh, my wife prepared for me that this very
Dinner, so dinner first, yeah?
dinner first. So al-isha'u and al-asha'u. Clear so far, everyone?
Yes.
What the exercise?
Yes.
It was fun, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah.
Good.
It was.
Perfect. So let's move now to Rabi'u, if you do not mind. Do you have any questions regarding lesson 3? So to recap, what we learned in lesson 3, we learned that we can add. Let me just share my word document. For those who just joined today, I'm pleased to see all of you. We are all pleased to see you. And if you can kindly refer to lesson 1, lesson 2, there is a very nice and lovely teacher online. His name is Brother Asif. He teaches in a very fun and nice way this book. I hope that I have time to learn from him so that I can share with you all. But please share with me his way of teaching so I can learn and share with you all in the future.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
I'm Mudassir, thank you. I've heard about this brother Asif, but I haven't seen the video. Do you have the link?
Definitely. If any one of you has the link, if kindly share it.
Mudaris, inshallah, later I'll post inside the chat.
Thank you.
Inshallah, I'll settle it for you. No worries.
Mr. Abdul is always here for us. Thank you so much. Jazakallah khair.
Masalat.
And all of you, I didn't see Mr. Shah tonight. I think he's still fixing his aircon. I know Mr. Mohammed Shah usually puts the Sultan Mosque background. Okay, so what we learned in lesson 3, everybody. Sorry, everyone, by the way, I like joking with you all. So
we learned the moon and the sun letters.
Now, and before that, Ms. Khurshid, just to recap, we learned when the word is definite, is indefinite, and how we make it definite.
Oh, that's right, of course.
Yeah. So, for example, Khalamun. Khalamun means a pen. Do we know what kind of pen is that? The owner of the pen? No, it's indefinite. We call it nakiratun. How to make it definite in Arabic? There are ways, not only one way. Yes, the way that we learned so far is to add alif and lam. Okay, so to make it, let me just put both words to see the difference. I will add alif and lam. This alif and lam is particle. So as I mentioned to Mr. Sultan just now, that the parts of speech are 3 in Arabic. Noun, and the noun, all the different types in the parts of speech in English, for example, the parts of speech in English are more than 3. So in the noun, you can find adjectives, demonstratives, predicates, and so on. And then we have the second category, which is the verb, and the third category, which is the particle. So this is considered as a particle. Qalamun is considered as a noun, but we can merge both of them under one word. And because this is very common in Arabic, and by the way, if you go to the southern parts of Spain, which Andalusia, you may find a lot of al, like Qasr al-Hamra, places starting with al, so you know that word was taken from Arabic. Even in Mexico, in some of the Latin American countries, there are a lot of Arabic words used actually for places like Guadalajara, and so on. So al means the, and then I will add the noun, which is qalamun, pen, a pen. So now, when I merge both of them, one thing that I will never forget, al is the enemy of the tanween. Okay, so can we put 2 enemies together in one room? No. The next time when we open the room, everything is broken, right? And therefore, we will not put the tanween together with al. We remove the tanween, everybody. Al-qalamu. Okay, so the dhamma is given to the noun by default. By default. If the noun has alif and lam, we don't give it dhamma. We don't give it the tanween, we give it the dhamma only. If the word doesn't have alif and lam, the default is to give it dhamma and tanween. We will see when we will be changing marfu' into mansub, mansub into majrur. And Mr. Abdul prepared for the Sunday class a very good material for that. So if you can kindly, Mr. Abdul share it as well, that would be very kind of you. And also, if you go to LQ Toronto, you will find some material, some grammar material. Kindly download it. You will find some terms like what is marfu', what is mansub, what is majroor, what is nakira, what is ma'rifa. Those terms, we will be using them quite frequently. I will be repeating them all the way, as Brother Abdul says. So that's all those words will stick to our minds. So al-qalam. That's what we learned at the beginning of lesson 3. After that, we learned how to create our first sentence in Arabic. So if I say al-qalamu alone, maybe Miss Yasmin will scold me. We say, what is al-qalamu? What about it? Correct, Miss Yasmin? So I have to come up with some information about this al-qalamu, correct? To make my sentence or what I have said mufid. Mufid means meaningful. So I said al-qalamu. In our book we have the first sentence, which a breaking heart sentence there, starting with maksurun, with broken. So maksurun. And I shared with you last week that the term we use for the first word, which is the subject, we call it mubtada'un. Please refer to my notes if you can. One of you share what I shared with you all last week, just the notes. So that's, I mean, for those terms to be taken note of. So mubtada'un. Why we call it mubtada'un? It's because we started our sentence with it. It's coming from the term or the verb ba da a. Ba da a, to start. No. Bada. Maksurun. Maksurun. We call it a predicate, or in Arabic we call it khabar. What is the meaning of khabar? Khabarun?
News.
News, information. So by giving this, my sentence is complete. So what do I need to do now? I need to put a full stop. Am I right?
Yes.
Otherwise, Miss Yasmin will scold me again, right? So al-qalamu maksurun is broken. Clear, everyone? Who can give us another example? Let's find one of the words in the first page in lesson 1 or second page, or maybe the house. So how to say house without alif and
بيت.
بيت, Mr. Nazim. نعم, شكرا. بيت. Now let's make it معرفة.
البيت.
البيت.
البيت. Can I keep the tanween, everybody?
لا.
Please, all of you say لا.
لا.
شكرا جزيلا. البيت.
لا.
شكرا جبرائيل. البيت. Nice. Beautiful.
جميل.
البيت جميل.
I was happy that Mr. Jamal
جميل.
mute himself. Is جميل.
جميل.
البيت جميل.
So Mr. Jamal, we were talking about Jamal and Jamal. The last time his brother-in-law wanted to play. Yeah, so Jamilun means beautiful, nice. What do I need to do with my sentence?
Full stop.
Full stop, Mr. Dean. شكرا جزيلا. And the sentence means Al-Baytu, the house is beautiful or nice. Can I say Al-Baytu Al-Jamilu, everybody?
No.
The predicate doesn't accept Alif and Lam. Okay? If we give it Alif and Lam, no more predicate has a different role, which is an adjective at that time. So Al-Baytu Jamilun. And since there is no Alif and Lam, we give it Tanween. How's the lesson so far?
Fine. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. You see, only Mr. Nordin said fine.
No, good. It's good.
Oh, you are confused. Am I right?
Excellent.
Fine. Very fine.
That's very
Mumtaz. No?
ممتاز. نعم. شكرا لكم. So we are left with 4 minutes. All those 4 minutes are for your questions. If you do not have questions, trust me, I will flood with all the questions.
So, Mr. Muhammad,
Now, Mr. Nordin.
if I say Al Baitul Jamilu, then it becomes a beautiful house.
No, it becomes
No, no.
the beautiful house.
The beautiful house. Sorry, yeah, the beautiful
And
house.
then, if you say Al Baytul Jamilu, is your sentence complete, Mr. Nordin? The beautiful house?
La.
We will also scold you, Mr. Nordin. We say,
Yes.
what about this, right?
The khabar is missing.
Yes, mean we are mentioning your name.
Missing, yeah.
Now, so we'll need another predicate. I mean, we'll need a predicate for you.
In that sense, the beautiful house, it becomes another mubtada.
So if you say Al-Baytul Jamilu, Al-Baytu here is mubtada. Al-Jamilu is called sifat. Sifat.
Okay, see.
In Malay. Or not. We will study this, I think, in lesson 9, if I'm not mistaken.
Inshallah.
And then after that, of course, the nice house should be expensive, right? And then it's a expensive, which is ghalin. Ghal. We will know why it's ghalin with kasra and tanween in our advanced classes, everybody. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Nurdin, for this question. Any other question, everybody? We are left with 3 minutes. No questions so far?
I mean, I am a little bit confused here. Al Baitu Jamilu is the house is beautiful,
No.
but when Mr. Nurdin asked about Al Baitu Jamilu,
Mr. Nurdin, sorry, Mr. Sultan, I think I got your question. Mr. Nurdin asked about Al Baytul Jamilu. So he added another alif and lam for khabar. So when you added alif and lam, you take out the tanween, Al Baytul Jamilu. This will come in lesson 9, so don't worry. Al Baytul Jamilu. This now my sentence is not complete. It means a beautiful house.
and it's expensive as another.
And then I said expensive. Ghalin.
Okay.
No.
It's the same level. The first two word is the same level, and then the third word is explain about the other
Yes.
two. Right? Okay.
So this one is khabar. This one is khabar, is the predicate. Now, so this will come in the future. Don't worry about it. As for now, we are learning mubtada and khabar only. Al-baytu mubtada'un, al-jamilun khabar. Subject, predicate. And we are left with few seconds. Anyone would like to say something, everybody?
I would like to say thank you so much, Mudaris, for all your valuable time and for all the valuable lessons and for all the valuable knowledge. May Allah grant you the best of Jannah, inshallah.
Yes, shukran.
Amin.
Amin.
My honor actually and my pleasure seeing you all, and thank you so much for your time. I know that Friday is very precious, and despite actually that you are here to learn, I'm speechless honestly, and honored to see you all turning at this time to learn this beautiful language, which I'm learning it with you all as well. So I'm a learner, and my knowledge in Arabic is very little. We are all learning this beautiful language together.
You're being very humble. Yes, thank you very much.
But Sayyidi Mudaris, where is your question?
Oh, my question, because you asked already. I will keep all my tons of questions to the next one.
Okay, we'll ask you tons of questions.
I look forward to that, and wishing you a great night, everybody.
Yes, you too.
Happy weekend, Mudaris. Happy weekend.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend ahead.
Shukran Jazila.
Thank you, sir, for your time.
Many blessings. God bless. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you, everyone.
Assalamualaikum.
Laliko. Laliko.
Everybody. Tomorrow I have another class. It's lesson 10 and then Sunday. I'm not meeting you tomorrow and on Sunday and Monday, I will meet you on Friday.
Inshallah.
What time for tomorrow class? Then?
Afwan, Mr. Nazim?
What time is the class for tomorrow and Sunday?
Tomorrow, 12:45. Sunday, 7:45 p.m. Maybe Mr. Abdul Sattar will share again the
Inshallah, I'll post
yeah.
the schedules for the 4 classes and
Yeah.
also the link for Brother Asif and
Yeah.
also the textbook links for everyone, inshallah. For all the 4
Yes, thank you
chapters.
very much.
No
Thank
worries,
you, thank you.
inshallah.
Also,
Bless your heart.
Thank you.
everyone.
Good night. Good night.
Bye. Good night.
Bye. Good night.
Good night, everyone.